Sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Have kids that play it, so yeah, I didn't play it myself, but obviously it's a great sport, and we're pulling for the United States today.
Jake Hobbs has obviously been out there at practice. Any feeling one way or another on whether he's
Well, hopefully we get over a little illness that had, so we'll see how it goes. I think we're kind of in the wait and see mode just to see how he's feeling and how today goes, and then I don't want to say hopeful or not hopeful, but the reality is if we feel like he's ready to go and able to perform at the level that we want him to and he wants to, then I think we're getting close. Like I said,
you guys have been rotating the secondary a lot. I think against the Broncos, you had like 10 guys playing in the back end. Was kind of was that a strategy thing, or was it more so reacting to what happened?
I think it's. Different guys have earned the opportunity to have a role in the game. I think that's definitely part of it. Duran went out with the cramps, you know what I mean? So that kind of forced us to do something a little different there for a short period of time. We have packages with 6 of them in the game. I think we played 7, at least on a couple snaps, in the game. So, having enough guys there, number one, is key. And then I'd say just being able to share the burden of having a different role here or there. Had some different guys cover the tight end, had some different guys play down in the box. Roderick has now started to play some of the big nickel stuff. So, I think it's great for them. I think it's great for our team. Everybody kind of comes in, has a part in the game plan, understands what they're being asked to do, learns it, practices it that way, and then goes out there and tries to perform. And then obviously we have some injuries. We've got to do some different things. But Isaiah, is now starting to play. So I'm excited for the young group that we have, to keep continuing to play and get better. I mean, that's how they do it. You know what I mean? It's hard to get better, without any kind of experience, so they're practicing, they're earning the opportunity to play in the game, and then hopefully, they go out there and they do the most that they can with the reps that they get. And I thought Tyler did that. Isaiah's done some of those things. Roderick, definitely has showed up. Sam's played on and off all year, so just trying to, look, that's not an easy position to play. As you guys know, you run around covering these guys all day long, and, got some good receivers and another group this week. It's helpful if you have enough healthy bodies to go out there and kind of rotate them in there a little bit to keep some of them fresh.
DK Metcalf is different, not only because of his speed, but because of his size. What challenges are you seeing that he's going to bring on Sunday?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. He catches the ball when you're on him. And so I think he's like the top of the league in terms of being able to contested catches. So even if you have tight coverage, it doesn't really mean that you've stopped the ball from being thrown to him for sure, and it doesn't mean that you've stopped the ball from being completed. So that's one. 2, getting him on the ground once he has the ball is an entirely different conversation. This is as good of an athlete and as tough of a football player to get to the ground as you're going to see generally. There might be a couple other guys in that category, but I mean he's big, he's fast, he's strong, he's tough, he's physical. So getting him to the ground once he has it is going to be a task, and we're going to need as many guys to the ball, chasing the ball as we can. And then just I'd say his overall ability to really run, and get by everybody. You got to be careful you don't underestimate. Even if you're back there, I mean he can close ground in a hurry. One of the fastest guys in the league, no question. And so, knowing where he's at, knowing how to play him, and understanding that he's going to have the ball at some point. It's not like we're going to stop the ball from being given to him or thrown to him. So everybody's got to do a good job of playing the play all the way through its entirety and try to limit the production as much as we can.
When you were putting this together, I'm sure you had a kind of a vision of what it would look like with Foster and Darren playing in conjunction with one another.
Yep.
How does Foster's role change when Darren's not in there, and then when Darren does come back, how does it change back?
I think we'll have to wait and see about the role when it if that happens, when it happens, and but Foster's really kind of a traditional tight end type. You know what I mean? And those guys are not easy to find. You watch college football, and there's a lot of guys that catch passes and all that kind of stuff, which is great. There's very few people that are part of the core of the formation anymore, and Foster certainly can do both. Plays inside the formation, helps us in the running game. We asked him to pass block. He's pass protected on the game winner last week. He does that, quite a bit, I'd say, off and on throughout the course of the game. And then he's also been productive when he's had his opportunities in the passing game. So a little different. You don't extend him from the formation, like some other guys do, and that's okay. Like I said, he's more of a traditional tight end role, but he has a lot of things he can do, and he does them pretty well at a high level, and can help us win doing them. So. When the two of them have played together, and it hasn't been that many snaps, but if we could ever get to that, there's a lot of things you can consider doing. But I think we really need to get them both back healthy, and then start to, I'd say, crawl before we walk and walk before we run. But we've liked to have that opportunity in the past where we've had two guys that are a little bit interchangeable, but not the same. But we're going to need to get out there on the field and do it before we do that.
There's a couple guys that you've had on the injury report this week, Nick Masterson and Colton Miller. They've been limited. Are those guys to where you have to have them go full before they could play, or could they theoretically?
No, I think honestly, we're probably about as healthy as I could imagine at this point in time during the season, knock on wood. And to come off of a few physical games here, I feel fortunate that we're in the position that we're in. Both guys, I think, are trending in the right direction here, and hopeful that we'll be able to turn the corner here.
One of the guys that's kind of struggled with injuries, probably a frustrating year for Denzel Perryman, but he was back out there last week. It seemed like he had a really good game. In what ways is this defense different when he's able to be out there for you?
Yeah, he's just, you notice him right away, as you mentioned. Physical, fast, adds an element of just, he's got experience. He understands what he sees, gets to the ball quickly. Big hitter, no doubt about it. And I think he just has a presence and a confidence to him. And I think he's he's voted as a captain for a reason. The guys respond to him, his leadership, his personality, his energy. And he brings an element of toughness that you love in the middle of your defense. So, yeah, Denzel, to his credit, fought back from a couple things here that snagged him a little bit during the course of the season, but healthy now, and excited that he's going to be out there.
You guys all good?
Good to go? All right. You guys are still sleeping?
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.